As kids head back to school, parents and teachers are heading to the stores.
And they are armed with some very specific lists, and the supplies are often shared in the classroom. So how much are we spending on school supplies? Good question. School shopper Heather Brown's checking that out. So that's a big number. What'd you say, like 2/3 will buy more than they actually have to?
Yeah, they sure will, because they have all these lists. You know, the National Retail Federation does a survey on this every year. 60% of people say that if they were asked, they would buy more than what's required. And 40% of people say they're asked to buy too much.
What's on your school supply list?
Scissors,
folders, some pencils,
dry erase markers, dry erasers,
Okay.
3-ring binder that should fit everything, college ruled, wide ruled, different colors.
You could go on and on
I
and
mean,
on.
it's a very long list, absolutely.
The National Retail Federation says the average family spends $107 a year on supplies. My informal Twitter survey ranged from $80 for one first grader, $60 for a third and seventh grader, and $150 for 3 kids.
For a kindergarten student, they would pay $37 for their prepackaged school supply kit.
Andy Volmuth is the principal at Normandale Hills Elementary School in Bloomington.
We understand that parents are oftentimes buying for multiple children, so we try to be cognizant of that.
Teachers determine the lists at his school.
So we try to retrofit those lists to say what doesn't make sense for us to buy anymore.
And the trapper keeper holds them all.
Headphones are something that more and more that are needed more and more.
State law says kids shouldn't be charged for books, art materials, or lab supplies, but that students may be asked for things like pencils, pens, erasers, and notebooks.
I do. We actually drove to my hometown in Wisconsin and shopped at the place that I got my school supplies when I was a kid.
At Normandale Hills, they keep extra pens and paper in the office just in case supplies run out.
We try not to put that tax and burden on to teachers, but surely our teachers go above and beyond and purchase things for our students at times.
Also, at the end of the year, we get these big bags back of all the things that they didn't use. So
maybe you can use it for next year.
In theory, I wish my kids were okay with repurposing it.
And many parents know that's how you end up with a lot of broken crayons. Now, teachers told me that today that they're spending $150, $200, up to $500 a year on supplies. It's also important to understand there's lots of families out there that can't afford these supplies, so that's really where all of the sharing comes into play. But at Normandale Hills, the principal says they're very lucky because they have a lot of community support and businesses that donate.
That's
That's
great.
nice.
Yeah.
I'm sure they appreciate it.
They do, and especially the teachers especially do, because
Absolutely.
you know they can go there for the pens and the paper and the crayons.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Heather.
School time's here. If you have a good question for Heather, please email it by going to WCCO.com/links.